Hey guys, so for the look for today, we're starting with our primer. In this case, I'm using Studio Perfect Photo Loving Primer by NYX, and I'm just applying it all over my face with a flat synthetic brush that I have from Eco Tools, making sure that I spread it out evenly all throughout the face and down the neck as well. Now the next step would be to go to foundation, and I'm using the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Foundation in the shade Neutral, and I'm using a kabuki brush also from Eco Tools, applying it all over my face, making sure that I get it evenly spread out down my chin and my neck as well, so we don't have that line. After you spread it out with the brush, you also want to tap it into the skin to make sure you get a nice blend and no streaks from the brush bristles. So just continue to brush it all over the face. I also put it on my lips because I feel it gives a great base for the lipstick that we're going to put on later on, and it helps it to prevent from moving. After foundation, we're going to move into concealer. I'm going to use my Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade Light. And we're going to highlight the high points of the face, which is the under eye, the bridge of the nose, and if you choose to, you can also do your forehead and your chin. And then using a beauty blender or any kind of sponge, you can just blend it out, making sure you're looking up to get that product all the way in those little tiny creases that you get under your eye, making sure you get a nice amount of coverage and brighten that area out. So just tap it into blend and also around your nose, and whatever extra I'm using on my forehead, and just blending it all out through my face. Now we're gonna set the face, and we're actually gonna bake the under eye to make sure we avoid any kind of creasing. I'm using the Pretty Vulgar setting powder, and I am gonna apply it with my beauty blender, a nice amount of powder right underneath the eye. This is going to help to bake in the foundation and the concealer into the skin, and it's also going to help to prevent any fallout from staining our foundation. Now we're going to set the rest of the face. I'm using the Revlon Color Stay Pressed Powder in the shade Light Medium, and I'm using a Morphe brush. It's a big fluffy brush to just spread it all over the skin, making sure we set the rest of the face in place. I'm avoiding the under eye area because I want to leave that powder for a little bit longer, just to allow that bake to really happen under the eyes. Now we're going to continue to contour and bronzing. I'm using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the shade Deep, and I'm going to go ahead, and I like to contour right almost on top of the cheekbone, not below, because I really like a cut cheek and that slim look on the face. So it's like right almost on the cheekbone, but not quite. And just making sure that you bring it in very smoothly, and also under the chin, so we don't get that double chin happening. And I'm also taking it up on the forehead, on the temples, to give it that nice natural, quote-unquote natural look of a sun-kissed face. And just make sure that you blend it into the hairline as well, because nobody likes a line of separation there. And whatever is left on the brush, I just take it on my nose. I don't like a harsh contour, so whatever is left, I just fluff it on my nose, just to bring a little bit of warmth into the middle of the face as well. Moving on to eyebrows, I'm using my Brow Stylist Definer pencil from L'Oreal, and this is in the shade Dark Brunette. I am just pretty much correcting what my natural hairs are not doing for me. I don't like a very cut, perfect eyebrow. I like more of the natural look. So I'm just filling in where I don't see that there's enough hair there, and I'm also dragging it out a little bit more for that dramatic effect in the end. What I like about this pencil is that it also has a spoolie on the other side, which you're going to see in a little bit, and I'm using that to comb the hairs and to give it that shape that I need, and to make sure that I'm not missing any spots. Now, for whatever was left of the concealer on the Beauty Blender, I'm using that to prime my eyes. It's just a little bit of product in just to help that with the blend that's going to happen now. And we're going to start with the eyeshadow. So I'm using my Too Faced Just Peachy palette, and I'm going in with the shade Peach Tea as a transition shade on a fluffy Morphe brush. And I'm just bringing it all over the lid. And I'm going back and forth just to spread it out and start that nice blend that's going to continue to happen the darker we go with the colors. Just picking up a little bit more product to give it a little bit more pigmentation. It's always better to go light with your hand and then build on it. Now the next shade that I'm using is Just Right from that same palette, and now I'm going to tap it in to build that color. So you first tap, and then I'm bringing it with very small back and forth motions, and I'm going to build it up and kind of drag it a little bit towards the center of the eye and really get it on that crease to get that definition and that dimension there. So as you can see, I'm using the same brush. I'm tapping it onto the skin first to build the color, and then I'm just swiping it a little bit back and forth, very tiny motions just to get that blend going. But I don't want to move the product too much. And just keep picking up product until you get the shade that you like. Now with a flat brush, we're gonna work on the lid, and I'm picking up my Ace Beauty palette, and with this palette I'm gonna pick up the shade Myrtle, which is a nice copper glitter shade, and I'm gonna put that on the lid. Depending on the eyeshadow that you're working with, you can either use a setting spray to wet the brush and then pick up the glitter with that. One is going to help you prevent major fallout with glitter, which tends to happen a lot, and two is going to really pop that glitter or shimmer look on the eye. Is going to make it even brighter. So depending on the look that you're going for or the eyeshadow that you're working with, you can always do that. It always helps. Now with that same brush, I'm going into the shade Jasmine from that same Ace Beauty palette, and I'm using that on the inner corner just to bring that pop in the center of my face and on the inside of my eyes. Now we're going to dust off the baked powder from underneath the eye using the same Morphe fluffy brush, just dusting it off. And I always like to go back in with the brush I use for bronzing just to melt everything together and to give it that seamless blend and make it look natural. Now with a pencil brush that has a lot shorter bristles and it's more dense as well, I'm going to go and do the lower lash line, and I'm picking up those same two colors from the first palette, the Too Faced Just Peachy palette. And again, the colors are Peach Tea and Just Ripe, and I'm mixing those two together and putting it on the lower lash line to just marry everything together and making sure that everything is matching. Again, a little bit goes a long way, so always dust off the excess. Moving on to eyeliner, we're gonna wing it out with our NYX Epic Ink liner, and this is in the shade Black. This is a felt tip liner, which I find it to be very useful and very easy to work with. I'm just gonna wing it out a little bit, nothing too dramatic, just to give it that nice pop to the eyes. Moving on to mascara, I am using my Superhero Mascara from IT Cosmetics, and this is in the shade Super Black. Since we're going for more than natural look for this look today, we're not going to apply falsies, so it's always good to have a good mascara in your makeup bag, and this one is a really good one that I don't feel like I need to curl my lashes. I don't really tend to curl my lashes a lot, or at all really, to be honest with you. But with this mascara, the curl kind of happens on its own, and it really helps to bring your lashes out and pop, since we're not going for the falsies for the look for today. Now we're gonna apply some blush. I'm using my Milani Baked Blush, and this is in the shade Luminoso. This is a really nice peachy shade, but all the shades from Milani are really good. It just depends on your preference. Like I said, this one is the shade Luminoso, which is on the peachier side. And now we're going to highlight the face. In this case, I'm using my Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Highlighter, and this is in the shade Golden Lights. I'm using a small flat brush just to have that precision. Again, this brush is from Morphe, and I am also going in, as you can see, on the brow bone and just marrying that highlight together to really make it look like just the light is hitting my face in a natural way. And last but not least, I'm also applying it on the bridge of the nose, on the tip of my nose, on my temples, and on the Cupid's bow. And like I said, a little goes a long way. And then going back with that same blush and bronzer brush, just marrying everything together to get a nice blend. Now we're gonna move on to lips, and I'm using the lip liner from Bodyography in the shade Heatherberry, which is a nice nude pinky shade. And I always like to line my lips before I apply lipstick. It just makes it easier. So, and then for lipstick, I'm using a nude shade from Kat Von D, and this is in the shade Bow and Arrow, and this is a really nice nude as well. Once that liquid lipstick has dried, I'm going to go in with my Tartiest from Tarte lip paint, and this is in the shade Insta Famous. This is more of like a gloss finish, very glittery, very pigmented, and is going to give you really that pop that you're looking for if you want to add any type of shine to your lips. Don't forget to set your face with a setting spray. In this case, I'm using the Matte Finish by NYX. And that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give it a thumbs up. I'll be keeping you updated with more videos to come. See you on the next one. Thank you.